From police officer to global craft queen to fashion brand founder, Toni's spilling everything on launching products, listening to a community, and making a serious impact. Welcome back to Off the Course, the podcast for founders who haven't made their millions yet, but are building something brilliant. I'm your host, Hatty, and today I'm joined by the powerhouse behind Cedar Rose Fashion, Toni. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to another episode of the All In podcast. I am super excited to have our guest on today, and we're going to jump straight in as usual and introduce yourself to me and tell us all about yourself and what it is that you do.
So my name is Toni and I am the director, the founder, the creator of Cedar Rose Fashion, which we launched in November last year.
Wow, that's flown.
It has so flown. I mean, I feel like I've been at it 10 years already, but actually I've got the grey hair to prove it. But since November, we've launched so many different wonderful pieces and we're just doing so well. I can't believe it. It's actually shocked me because, as you probably already know, I already own a business and it's taken me 15 years to get to a stage where it's actually looking after itself. So I was thinking maybe doing a second business, it would take another 15 years, but actually within the first 6 months, we're doing so incredibly well. We're growing so fast.
Which is incredible. Do you think maybe having that experience from the first business has helped going into the second, or do you think you've just hit the nail on the head and got an amazing product?
Definitely experience. You cannot buy experience. From experience, you cannot buy experience. So yeah. So all of the learning that I've learned from my craft business and the highs, the lows, the do's, the don'ts, I've sort of instantly been able to apply to my fashion brand, which has obviously helped with saving money, saving time, already knowing about import, export, and all of those things that do take years to understand have already been learned 15 years ago.
Yeah, that, you know, there's a lot of the girls that do ask about, and especially with everything going on currently in the US, it's an absolute minefield and it's something obviously not being product-based absolutely blows my mind. It must be really scary. Because you don't want to get it wrong, I guess, do you? And get hit with a bill.
Yeah, and when you're so young and juvenile as a company, those small mistakes can have great impact on such a new business as well. So, but I'm a big believer in, you know, you have to grow through what you go through. You have to go through those things as a business owner to understand the business. If it was all plain sailing, everybody would be doing it. But it's hard work. It takes sheer tenacity to get through. And those downfalls make you stronger as a brand owner.
I love that. I always say I don't know a single founder that hasn't been either scammed or had a trauma or been financially hit. But every single one of them is successful afterwards. So I guess that kind of proves your point, doesn't it?
It really does make you stronger. Honestly, I have had more blooming lows than I have highs. And I feel like those lows have really set the bar for where I need to be as a company. You know, pre-social media and things like that, we never heard of the highs, we never heard of the lows because there's no platform to sort of like expose all of that, whereas now we can expose it, we can show it, and hopefully with that sort of exposure people can see what to avoid, what to do, how to grow, things to sort of like miss and leave, and the things that are not necessary in a business. So yeah, I think social media is a great way to avoid the not so good stuff and the fantastic stuff.
I agree. I think it's a bit kind of, it's not hit and miss, but it's both really, isn't it? Social media is amazing to the rise in founder content. I love seeing, sounds awful, but I love seeing other founders struggling through the same things that I am. And like you say, it makes you feel less lonely. But then on the flip side, you get to see all these founders that look like they're potentially doing better than you. And that I think can also, you can be like, oh, why aren't I doing that? And what am I missing? And why is that company blown up and mine hasn't? So I think social media kind of ends up with both, doesn't it?
Yeah, I always say to myself, don't follow the algorithm. It can send you down paths that can send you stir crazy because everybody always looks like they're doing better than you, but actually they're not. The algorithm is just pushing them out and making them look better than you. You just stay in your lane, stick to what you love, and organic growth will just look after itself. It really, really will. If you try to be like somebody else, you can actually lose what actually started the business, which comes from here. You can lose you can lose your identity. But after time, it probably comes with age as well a little bit, you do find your own path, and you just end up going down that sort of path. It's not led or driven by other founders. Everybody has their own way of growing a business, but I would absolutely, definitely say do not follow the numbers, the hearts, the likes, the shares, the algorithm, because it's not a true reflection of what you're doing or what you're creating. It's your community.
I love that. And it is so true. No, you are absolutely right. And it's very easy to get wrapped up in those vanity metrics.
Yeah, don't do it.
So obviously you had a business before and that was very successful. And what made you start Cedar Rose? How did that transition from one business into another? What kind of was the driving force behind Cedar Rose as it is today?
So I've always had a dream to be a fashion brand owner, and I had it since I was very little. I love clean classic lines. I love fashion and always have done. But what happened was, just to go back a few pages before then, is I was a police officer, and what happened was my mum died and at quite a young age, and what I did was, from that I had to find a distraction, and that distraction was papercraft. So I was picking up a brush, I was painting, I was sketching, and just as a distraction, and that led me, I found sheer love in doing things with my hands, quite creative. And that led me down creating my craft business, which is now a global craft business. We sell worldwide, everywhere in the world. But what's happened is, because of those 15 years of learning, toward the end of it, I felt like I'd ticked all the bucket lists. I was not getting bored by any means, but I'd done everything I'd ever wanted to do in the dream. I'm on the biggest shopping TV platforms. I sell worldwide. I'm globally known for my craft business. And I was like, what's next? And because the business had done so well, I was like, I think it might be time to try that dream of fashion and try something new. And although my community and my craft is my business entity and will always be, I will never let that go, it's sort of like helped build the dream around my fashion brand. So I'd always wanted to do it. Pre-launching in November, I did a year's worth of work before then. I went through multiple factories in China, in the UK, and also in India. And then 1 month before we went live, I picked the one that I felt was best for our brand. It's not a fast fashion manufacturer. It's quite a low-key, family-led business, which can't produce the numbers. So that will rein me in a little bit as well. So I felt like that's a great tick for me as well, because if they could do larger numbers on a grander scale, then I would probably run away with it and go crazy with it.
Yeah.
And so it launched in November, and I was so blooming scared, so out of my comfort zone. I had a lot of mistakes, but I have had some fantastic highs, even in like the space of 1 year.
Good. Honestly, I obviously follow you, and what you produce is beautiful. I'd love to kind of delve a little bit deeper into how you started the process of looking for manufacturers. It's a question you see quite a lot for sort of budding fashion designers or people who want to start fashion brands. Is it, you see Alibaba all over the show for things like packaging, but I can't imagine that that's potentially the right place to go to for an actual factory. Is it a case of just Googling, or did you utilize your previous network?
I think you have to know yourself what you want your brand to look like. So if you're wanting to be that UK-based, sustainable brand and have all the ethos wrapped around that, then obviously GPT is blooming brilliant these days. You can give it a whole plethora of information. Google also. So if that's the sort of thing that you're looking for. However, if you are wanting to outsource and you are looking at China, because China have the best machines in the world to create all of this fantastic fashion that we see in this sort of like current year, should we say, and it's only getting better as well. Then you can look at Alibaba. You're limited on the things that you can find on there though, because you will always get, if you ask the question, can you do X, Y, and Z, you will always get an answer of yes, because they all want your work. Super duper careful. So if you are shopping on those types of platforms, my advice would be is when you go onto these platforms, ensure that you always, click the ticky boxes down the left-hand side that say, are these manufacturers verified? Do they have the certifications that are required? i.e. no child labour, not overworked, so they're getting the proper wages and that they are due. And those ticky boxes come down the left when you look. But there's also other major platforms. If you put into any search engine manufacturer for, I would probably say you are not going to find a manufacturer within a few weeks. That's just crazy to even think that. It took me months and months and months, because they will all say yes. And then when you say, right, could you send me some samples of your work? I would like to see certification. I would like to maybe see a tour of your factory. Again, are these things real? We don't actually know. So you just have to make sure that you're in your heart and your gut tells you, I think I've picked the right one here. They've got the certification, they tick the box for this, they've shown me the videos match what are actually on the website, and they don't look like they're an outsourced video or anything like that. So if your gut tells you it's right and you are obviously entrepreneurial, your gut's probably right. If your guts stay away, something doesn't add up, just step away. There's millions of suppliers. You're not governed by just the one. Do your research, check them all out, and make sure you feel good about what you're doing with your manufacturer.
I think that's really good advice. It's something that, like I say, it's not something I massively delve into actually, but it makes sense that way. I feel like even I could go and I had, I use ChatGPT, but I hadn't even thought about using that to narrow down the search and to ask about tours and certifications. So yeah, thank you. That's really helpful.
Yeah, it'll show straight away. It'll tell you straight away. Obviously, you need to do your research above and beyond ChatGPT, because although I call him George, although he is a wealth of knowledge, he doesn't know everything still. No. Sometimes the things that he says to you, you do have to go and just doubly check that what he's saying is correct.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, mine's called Jenny.
Jenny and George.
Jenny and George. We all name it.
Crazy.
So talk to me about your designs. How does Cedar Rose work? Do you release different designs for the seasons? Do you do one at a time? Do you do bulk? Talk to me about the process. What are we excited for?
I don't put myself under any pressure. I don't do seasonal. I don't do trends. I just do it as I feel I'm ready. So we launched in November with a suit, and then from there it's just taking care of itself. It's just going back a little bit to what I said earlier about, don't be governed by the algorithm. The community is key. So for the first 3 months I was like this. Is this going to work? Is this going to work? Can somebody help me out? But over the course of the growth and the months, my community talk to me now. That's amazing. Can you do it in this colour, or could you do it with a sleeve, or could you do it without? I really do feel like the community is driving me in my path. I'm keeping it true to myself. My designs are my own. The community is absolutely telling me what they want, and I am listening. I am a community-led brand who pride themselves actually on total inclusivity. We do petite, we do plus size, we do tall, we do short, we do wide feet shoes, we do feet shoes. Obviously not large quantities at the moment until I see what everybody wants, but I'm trying to be that inclusive brand where everybody, no matter size, height, colour, race, whatever it may be, is included in the Cedar Rose ethos. So I am absolutely guided by my community. I can't even tell you anything else other than I am 6 months planned out. I know exactly what I need to do, but to grow your brand organically and to get it right without spending a lot of money and getting it wrong, you need to listen to your community.
That's such good advice. I think it's incredible to include that many different types and shapes of people, because we hear from the likes of, say, Amy Smale from Odd Muse, who says the reason she doesn't do petite and large is because it's too expensive. And so for a smaller brand to be taking that on, I think that's a really amazing mission, because it is hard. I mean, I'm 5'4", I'm in a very average size, but I'm 5'4". Nothing on the high street is made for me.
Yeah, so back to the 15 years of experience.
Yeah.
When brands start out and they say they're not doing that because of the expense, it's because they're brand new at business as well. Whereas with the 15 years of experience that I have, I know that if I give myself such a big, grand range, what will happen is I will be able to narrow it down to what works. So, for example, I changed one of the lengths of our skirts last week because the one that I thought would really work actually wasn't, and we only sold 10% of that length in skirt, and everybody was going for the longer length, so I made it even shorter in the hope that it's going to hit our younger market as well. So I'm trying to tick the box, and again, it's like it is still a little bit like guesswork, but as long as you stay true to yourself, I would probably say if you're starting out as well, do a really low as your manufacturer will allow, MOQ, and then what that will do is if it doesn't work, you're not left with dead stock. And if it
Yeah.
work, it's easier to add more and do a wait list or a pre-order. Then you've constantly got your cash flow coming in and out, learning that from my other business as well. So, and then when something hits and something sticks and they love it, it doesn't matter what you do. If you change the fabric, you change the colour, people will always buy it a second and a third time.
100%. It's so difficult. There's a girl in the group currently looking at the pre-order option, and it's a minefield to try and get that right. And I think when we were chatting in the group, all of us, we'd said, do maybe a wait list. That will give you an idea of your quantities. And like I say, it is very much that learning. Do you think that ever stops? Do you think you still learn?
You learn every single day. Every single day, and you'll never get it always right. Unfortunately, there will always be learning. But I feel like if you're honest and you say to community, I didn't get it right, or we did this and it wasn't quite right and we've changed it for these reasons, they'll be like, we get it.
Yeah.
Don't ever try and cover up a mistake. Don't ever try and be like anyone else, because they'll know. They'll know you as a human being. They'll know your style. They'll know how you work. And don't forget, when people purchase your product, they're not just buying the dress, they're buying you as a founder, you as a human being. They buy the dress because they love the ethos around the brand. They love how the pieces are brought together. Unique, like for instance for ours, we design a pattern. All of our patterns are done by me, all from here, onto sketch, onto a coral draw package. We hide our logo within the detail as well, so that nobody can take our designs or our work. But say, for instance, I find a fabric that I absolutely love that's not mine. I will always say to the customer, by the way, guys, I know you love my fabrics, you love my designs, but this is not mine. I can't take credit for it.
Yeah.
So if you're honest, people just absolutely love to see young entrepreneurial, whether it's guys or girls, go from start out to maybe the big fashion brand or the big global renowned company that brings you avant-garde patterns, which is what I do, avant-garde patterns and staple pieces. I really do feel like I have my own lane, and I think that comes down to my age as well. We see a lot of the same, and everybody's doing the same version of in a different colour. Whereas at Cedar Rose, it really is a little bit unique, and a lot of my comments I get are, I've never seen anything like that before. That is beautiful, or really are going to stand out in a crowd wearing one of your pieces. So that makes me very happy, and that's a lane I need to be in, because I have my own mind and I love it. It's crazy. It's crazy up here.
I think every entrepreneur's brain is a terrifying place to be.
Wired.
Yeah. I had a text at 6:00 this morning from a friend saying, I had a dream about you last night. I'm going to connect you with X, Y, and Z. And I was like, 6:00 in the morning. What are you doing?
Yeah. Why are you not in bed?
Why are you dreaming about me? I mean, I'm honoured, but why are you dreaming about me?
Yeah, we are wired.
When it comes to your designs, what inspires you? When do you find that, you'll be out and you'll all of a sudden go, right, what I want to do? What's that creative process like for you?
Do you know Audrey Hepburn? That's all it really comes from. When I buy pre my launching my fashion, I would always look for pieces that were inspired by her. And I found it really difficult. It's probably one of the reasons why it gave me an extra nudge to, just crack on with it. So Audrey Hepburn through and through, and if you can't see that in my pieces, well, it's crazy really. But I just love her classic, simple design, a touch of flair, whether that be embroidery or a big bold pattern or a snatched waist. So it all comes from that really. But I believe, I'm told in my mind, I am the modern take of her sort of style as well. So, like, just for example, there's an iconic dress, and if you Google it, it's the embroidery dress that Audrey Hepburn wore, and it's got a big embroidered flower on the front. Yeah. And I love it. And I was like, it took me 6 months to find an embroiderer. It took me 3 months to find somebody that said yes, and I have actually done one. And the patch, it's a patch, can't physically get it sewn onto the dress because it would distort the dress because it's got 3 million stitches.
Can you imagine
3 million stitches? Talk about why do you do this to yourself scenario, right? Yeah, so 3 million stitches, so stand by for that for the end of the year. I'm super excited about that. So it's a modern take on her gown from many years ago.
I love that.
I'm a giddy keeper. I'm always giddy.
That's amazing. And I think you can see that when you see your designs and you watch your TikToks and on your socials, that passion 100% comes through. And like you said, people buy into you. It's not just your brand.
Yeah.
Would you ever do anything that's custom? If somebody reached out and said, "Oh, I just love everything that you do. I'm looking for a custom X, Y, and Z." Would you do that?
I would, but it would cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now from like MOQs and sampling and things like that, it would cost a lot of money. I would never rule it out, but yeah, we already do pieces that I feel could already be custom. They're only made in a limited batch. However, in November, when we launched our party season, we launched a black, a lilac, a very Audrey Hepburn style, and I changed it up and made it a little bit more modern, a bit more contemporary. I added some beading around, not beading, like just a beaded detail around the top. And we're going to bring one out with a sleeve, and we sold 400 on launch. Now, I hear lots of girls on here who own fashion brands who don't sell that in a year. So I was like, what have I done? Yeah, knocked my socks off. I was like, what happened? And I think it was the timing of the year, because timing sometimes helps and aids. The colours, I nailed the colours, I believe, as well. And it's just gone from there. So now we have Dorothy with a sleeve, we have Dorothy that's a short, we have Dorothy that's a long, and we just have the most amazing patterns and designs like probably you will never find anywhere else. Hopefully that's the plan. So really, really unique.
I love that. And I think in the world of where everyone copies everyone, rightly or wrongly, and you have a lot of the fast fashion brands copying the non-fashion brands, it's nice to be able to say that you're unique.
We love unique. We are all unique as individuals though. And when I'm doing my content, I'm like, this is the only area where I feel a little bit deflated when I'm doing my content, is when I see the girls doing the fashion and they're all beautiful and they're all wearing the pieces and they're in beautiful locations, or they're in front of a gorgeous mirror and the background looks so aesthetic. And that's the only time I feel a little bit deflated in my brand. Not any of my pieces, not any of my designs. I absolutely love it. It's the showing of what I do. Does it have to be in that aesthetic way? None of my content is driven.
I don't think it does
that way. I think it proves the point that it actually does not. Me just holding my phone saying, hey guys, I've got this fantastic new print that I've designed. Do you like it? Asking the question. That's all I've done from the start, and it's looked after itself. The community's got bigger and bigger and bigger. I get ladies asking questions that would be amazing in a different colour, and then that gets my mind future-proofing further designs. But yeah, it's the only time where I feel a little bit deflated about how social media can shape and sculpt you as a founder or as a designer, because you feel like I'm not like that and are people not following me because of that, when actually it goes back to don't follow the algorithm, you do.
It does. It's so hard though not to kind of bow down to that pressure. But then, like I say, you've got to listen to that voice in the back of your mind saying, if they are not following you for that reason, then they're probably not going to be buying from you anyway.
Exactly.
So, and that's fine. If they're just not your customer, that's absolutely fine. And it's the same, I'll see people have come on to one of the Orloon pages, had a little scroll through, not followed. I'm like, well, that's okay. Because like you say, you do, initially I'd be like, oh, I'm wounded. How dare you not want to support? And then think, well, if you're not going to be buying and it's not helpful, then why would you follow? That makes no sense.
Yeah. If people are following you, they're following you because they love what you do. That's the best way to look at it, isn't it? And if they're following you because of a particular video or how you process your content or how you showcase your lines, they're there for the right reason. All of the others that are doing, they're all following their lovely founders and the world is big enough to follow whoever you want to follow. You can follow thousands of people if you want to. There are no rules when it comes to social media. And I would say if you are sort of like entrepreneurial and you are wanting to start a fashion brand, follow lots and lots of people and just take the bite-sized chunks from all of these founders and all of the learning from all of these different individuals and do your own bespoke package to you as a founder and create your own way of business. Really, there isn't a book. There is plenty of books telling you how to start a business, but none of them are bespoke to yourself. You have to create your own page, you have to create your own chapter in the hope that people are going to love the things that you say and that you do and the things that you create. And like I say, since November, I have to still pinch myself a little bit because I am not a fashion designer. Although I'm called a fashion designer, I'm not a fashion designer. But when I think, actually, I am a fashion designer, I need to be told that I'm a fashion designer. I create the most amazing patterns and dresses for girls who look blooming amazing. I'm like, what's going on?
I think that must be an amazing moment when you see a picture of someone in one of your designs.
Yeah, and I've now that the content started coming through and the girls starting to post more, I've done like a collage at the bottom of our website, and when I scroll down my website now and I get to the bottom, I'm like, she looks amazing. She looks amazing. She looks amazing. And it's girls of all ages, all heights, all body types. The ladies with the big chest, the small chest. I'm like, I need to be told that I'm doing it right. But if I look at these pictures, I am actually doing it. Guys, I'm doing it.
You're doing.
Tell the world I'm doing it.
No, you are. What other website have you ever seen that you can see a woman in the same styles or the same dresses, but in all different sizes, and it look incredible on every single one?
And all ages, you don't see it, and that's like, I am doing something amazing here because I've just recruited 3 models, so I don't have to do all the modelling myself. You have to start out as a model yourself when you start your own fashion brand, but I don't want to be just the face. I don't want to be the girl that everybody looks at and goes, well, you would look great in a black bin bag, you're 5'9" and you're size 10. That puts a lot of people off. So I've recruited 3 models. I have a petite, a 14 to 16 size girl, and I also have a lady who's encroaching onto her 50s with the biggest boobies you have ever seen, and she's so gorgeous.
Do you know, I'm so pleased that you said a 14 to 16. So I used to be around a 16, and I would really struggle because I wasn't kind of small, as in a high street size. I wasn't plus size. There was nothing in the middle. I never even had anywhere to look for inspiration of how I should be dressing, because I didn't want to be dressing in the styles that sort of plus size people supposedly should be, although I don't believe in that at all. But then I didn't want to be dressing in crop tops like the smaller girls were dressing. So to actually see models coming through in just a regular size, just the bog standard UK size, is a 14, isn't it? So I think that's amazing.
I know, and people get so caught up in sizing. Like one lady said, I have had to wear a size 16 in your dress, but I am never a 16, never, never, never. And it's put me off. It's made me feel like I'm big again, and I'm totally not. And the learning from that, I was like, I never want anybody to feel like my sizing is going to make them, because it can play with your mind, it really can. So my learning instantly from that is I changed all of my sizing in my dresses. I changed it from 8, 10, 12, 14. I changed it to extra small, small, medium. I'm not putting you in a box. You're a medium, you're a large. If you think a large is a 14 in your mind, I'm happy with that. I'm not going to put a 16 on it for you to think that you are larger than you're not. So I changed all of my sizing inside all of my garments. And again, it's just one of those learning. I don't want anybody to feel any less worth than anyone else in the room. We are all beautiful as individuals, no matter what we wear, what we say, what we do, how we look. We are all beautiful human beings.
I love that. It is so difficult, and it is, and like you said, especially if you have been on a bit of a weight loss journey or you've struggled maybe with an eating disorder. When I went to try on my wedding dresses, I was terrified because in the back of my head, I was still that size 18, which I wasn't, regardless of how big I was or small I wasn't healthy, and it wasn't a good place in my life, and I was so scared, and I was like, everything's going to look awful. And I went in, I was like, don't tell me any sizes. I don't want to see sizes, even if I decide on a dress today, because obviously they have to let you know which size to order. And I was like, just don't tell me. I genuinely, because I was putting on size 16s, because obviously in wedding world, you go up to, but that really like impacts your mental health, doesn't it? And I had said, I was like, please just don't tell me, because then I don't know. And like, still, I have no idea what size dress I've ordered. She just said, this is the size we will need for you to take in here, there, and everywhere. Is that like, are you happy for us to just order it? And I was like, well, yeah, I don't need to know what that number is.
Well, you've done incredibly well. You look so gorgeous.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Do you know what? It started off as a weight loss thing, but it's definitely now a health thing. Everything in our life revolves around healthier options, and I am better for it in every way.
Yeah, and I think if you're happy on the inside, it shows on the outside. You're glowing on the inside, it will glow on the outside.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I would love to, I feel like I could talk to you for ages, but I won't keep you. I'd love to finish on, I have 2 questions I ask at the end of every single podcast. There's an easy and a difficult question. Which one would you like first?
Difficult.
Everyone says that. It must be something in the entrepreneurs.
Like out of way.
Yeah, I get that. What is something, I feel like this might be hard for you, what is something that you don't know that you think maybe you should know? Maybe something that you think other people know and it's an area of knowledge that you don't have or don't excel in?
I don't know it now, but I'm currently studying. I want to know how high-end couture garments, how they actually fit them to all of the different sized models, like the structure. I know this is probably crazy, right? But I want to know how they get that perfect fit on all different sized models. And I'm actually trying to figure that out, but not just an everyday dress.
Yeah.
I'm couture, like mother of the bride or engagement parties. I want the girls to have that couture look because it's different. Couture is different to fashion. They're two different categories. So I would like to sort of like cross-pollinate both of mine into the couture look, but still at an affordable price. So I'm trying to understand the structure.
Okay.
I'm learning it now. Leave it with me.
If you figure it out, I have a mother of a bride.
Okay, to try it on.
Yes.
Yes, the fit, the look, the classic, as you would have found in your bridal wear, they have all of the structure inside to create the most amazing silhouettes, and that's what I'm trying to learn.
Amazing. And then your easy question, I give you a call and I say, Toni, I'm 10 minutes away from your house. I'm going to stop by a quick coffee shop. What am I picking up for you?
A large black Americano and a big cinnamon bun.
Finally, no one drinks coffee anymore.
Hey?
Everyone always goes, oh, I don't know, I don't drink coffee.
I think I did get made one for this show, but I'm too much talking. We love a coffee, cha-ching. Yeah, it keeps us going, doesn't it? It keeps us going. And I like my water as well to try and keep my skin glowy so I look like all the rest of the girls on social media.
Oh, God. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I feel like there were so many helpful things in there, and it is amazing just to get to know the brand a little bit more. And I do feel like you are a fountain of knowledge for anybody in fashion.
I would say thank you, Juan, for asking me. I really do appreciate it because I've never done anything like this in my life before. But you need to have me back in 12 months to see what's happened. We've got lots of things happening.
We will schedule it in the diary so we don't forget.
Yeah, and then I might be less grey. I might have...
Or more grey, who knows?
We'll have to get some hair dye. Yeah, so thank you so much. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
No, you are more than welcome. And where can the viewers find you on socials and online?
Right, so I'm on Cedar Rose Fashion website. We have currently just finished our brand new website, which will be going live either today or tomorrow. And we are on TikTok. We're heavy on TikTok. I find it easier to talk on TikTok. Instagram I'm on, but I'm still learning. It's a different beast. I've never done that before, so I'm still growing that. But if you'd like to follow us, that would be awesome. Come and say hello. We are a community-driven brand. Totally listen to our customers.
Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you in 12 months.
You will. See you later. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, darling.
Thanks so much for listening to All In Off the Course, the space where women building businesses don't do it alone. If you loved today's episode, make sure to hit subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with a fellow founder who needs to hear this. I'm Hatty, and I'll see you next time.